Welcome back to They Did What, your source for the internet's craziest and most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and on occasion, make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over two different stories dealing with the subject of jealousy, and how when people in life are successful and have things that others want but don't have, that kind of venom that can come your way if you don't handle it correctly. So you got to make sure you be very careful who you have in your life, coworkers, family, friends, and all that. And the first story is, am I the a-hole for telling my coworker that it's not my fault that she's single when she said that it's not okay for my husband to send me gifts at our workplace? And in this story here, you got a woman, she's with a guy, her husband, and he quite regularly sends her little gifts to her office, coffees with nice notes and flowers and stuff like that. And her coworker, who's single, in her 40s, and obviously not happy about it, is jealous and is creating a whole bunch of drama for this young woman who's just happy she's getting these things from a really good guy that's a husband. And a perfect example here, and so finally the girl snaps at her, and you're just going to see how this goes. But again, she's in her 40s. The one who is giving her a hard time is in her 40s and single, and obviously doesn't want to be that way and hating on her because she has something she doesn't. And the other story is dealing with a woman who, situation with two friends, and this girl finally found a good guy, and now her friend is trying to sabotage the situation. Real nice. So anyhow, guys, I'm going to get into this. So the first one, dealing with the girl and the coworker, she says, I think I should clarify that he does not show up at my work to deliver the gifts in person. He usually sends me breakfast because I can't have breakfast early in the morning. So when he goes to work, he stops by my favorite cafe and he orders what he knows I like and tells them where the order should be delivered. The owners are his friends, so he gives them notes to be delivered with the order. And last but not least, she kind of jumps into this little update here. This is how she wrote this. And last but not least, I received the order at the entrance. Nobody receives the order for me. That's why I don't understand what bothers her so much. And it bothers her that I put photos of my children and my husband on my desk, which doesn't even make sense because these photos are on my side of the office. Sadly, this is not the first time she says that I'm being unprofessional. For having photos of your children in the office is not professional. So I don't know how I should act to please her. So she's got a psycho coworker working, I guess, in her area, mad because she puts pictures up of her family. Most people put pictures up of their family, their dog, their cat, but this jealous woman who doesn't have that is hating on her. So getting into the actual format of the story, she says, I'm 26 years old and my husband is 50. He sends me gifts at work every day since we started dating. He usually sends me a rose and a coffee with a note wishing me a good day or just a note telling me that he loves me. Sometimes he sends me chocolate or food from my favorite restaurant, etc. Every day since they started dating, that's a bit overkill, buddy. Now, that's not a reason to go hating on her, but that's going way too far. But that's more of a discussion and analysis for my other channel. But for here is attempting to be more storytelling oriented, so I'll stick to the story here. But for you guys that follow me in the other channel, you know exactly what I'm thinking about the subject of a guy giving a gal too many gifts. Anyhow, she says her husband, he's very romantic and an attentive man, and I love that, but my coworker, a 40-year-old female, ding ding ding, doesn't like it at all. Yesterday, he sent me some croissants and a coffee with a note saying that he loved me. And when my coworker saw it, she said I should tell him to stop. That's not appropriate to receive gifts every day. And another coworker told her that she was being bitter, and that's nice to have such a loving husband, and that since I'm pregnant, it was understandable that he spoiled me so much. But she insisted that it was not appropriate in any way, and if he doesn't stop, she will talk to our boss. Tell the boss what? The husband's giving her gifts. Is this getting in the way of her doing her job at all or performing well? No. But she's so jealous and pissed off that she's got to create a whole bunch of drama. But how many of you guys ever work with somebody that is just unhappy with their life, so they're going to try to make everybody else's life miserable around them? It's unfortunate, but a lot of times when you have good things going on in your life and you are unfortunately, maybe because of work, surrounded by people that aren't happy, believe me, it's not always the wisest thing to show off your joy so much. Otherwise, it's going to cause friction. And I'm not saying you should change who you are for other people, but I'm just letting you know. Misery loves company, and you can clearly see it here. She says she's going to complain to the boss. She says she will tell her that she feels uncomfortable and I'm not being professional enough and that she wants another office mate. Well, I'd be like, hey, go to the boss, complain, take your best shot. I'm not doing anything wrong. And that way then she wouldn't have to have this B word as her office mate. And that made me so mad because I'm professional enough. The things my husband sends me doesn't bother anyone. And they're not a distraction to me either, but according to her, they are. So I told her that it's not my fault that she is single and does not receive anything from anyone, that maybe if she weren't so bitter, someone would send her at least a coffee. Good for her. Unfortunately, this woman probably wanted this kind of drama. Now she's going to make even more drama. She got angry and now she told everyone that I was rude and that if I don't apologize, she will talk to HR to see what they can do with me. When I told her that I didn't think of being single as a bad thing, I only said it because she sounded like an envious person. That's all, but apparently what I said hurt her. Am I the a-hole? Hell no. She's the a-hole. She's creating all this drama and turmoil. The dude is sending you stuff every day, and that's going way too far from the perspective of a guy. He's spoiling her too much, but that's not impacting her work environment. But the woman's in her 40s. She's single. I'm going to assume she's never been married, doesn't have kids, so she doesn't have what this woman has. And she's probably also hating on her because this woman, she said she's 26 years old and her husband is 50. A lot of women that are older absolutely despise when they see guys around their age dating women younger than them. It makes them crazy because they feel like they've been passed over and it's a great injustice. When the reality is, these same women that are single later on in life and have been married, oftentimes if they were above average, would have no problem getting a guy when they were younger, but they were too busy riding the carousel, as we say on the other channel, or focused being career women, and they missed their opportunity. So they were a hate on you. And here's a few comments from the comment section. One person says, so she may be jealous and should not have said anything since it doesn't affect her job. You reply with a personal attack, which puts you at the same level as her. I disagree. She was constantly harassing her, not the other way around. As a random person, I just have to say that it's weird that your husband sends you a gift to your place of work every single day since you met each other. That's not romance. That's peeing on your property so everyone knows it's taken. Romance can be public at times, but the workplace is weirdly public flex. Oh, for goodness sake. I agree that the husband's going overboard, but that's not the issue here. It's just simply her coworker hating on her. Another guy says, this is nonsense. We spent at least 1/3 of our lives at the office. It's perfectly fine for partners to be nice to each other where other people can see. All you have to do is mind your business. The personal attack was a warranted response to an ongoing campaign. I guess I'm not the a-hole too, because I feel like you're bitter like the woman in the OP's office. OP, not the a-hole. Yeah, exactly. So I would tell her, putting it aside the fact that the guy obviously too much stuff, but no, she's not doing anything wrong, and I would not apologize for that. And if she goes to HR and you're a boss, I would pretty much say, look, I'm minding my own business, doing my own job. He's sending me stuff. It's sweet. It's nice. It's not bothering her. So, if need be, then split her up. Put her in a different part of the office. And I guarantee she'll bother somebody else. But this woman's not the problem. But I won't apologize for it. Hell no. Now we're going to go to another story dealing with a woman who... her BFF, her friend, has gotten really psycho clingy and is trying to sabotage her situation with her new boyfriend, once again because she's jealous. That's the theme of today's video here. Title is, me, a 22-year-old female with my best friend, a 21-year-old female. She's getting suffocatingly jealous of my new boyfriend and I'm at a breaking point. She says, so my best friend, let's call her Amy, and are extremely close. We met at work and have been good friends for about 3 years now. We've both been there for each other through the breakups of our previous relationships. She was in a very toxic 1-year relationship and broke up last year in April, and I was in an okayish relationship which ended last year. Guess it wasn't that okayish. Just because we outgrew each other and we were constantly fighting. I have noticed that since we both have become single, she has become increasingly attached to me and we do everything together. I absolutely adore her and I value her friendship very much, but I just feel suffocated. The funny thing is, Amy is always used to being the power player in relationships. She's always been the hot, popular girl who gets whatever she wants and can make any guy weak at their knees. She usually has an abundance of men after her, and she has always been the cooler one in our friendship. In recent months, though, there's been a major shift. People have grown getting sick of her narcissistic ways and tend to grow closer to me, much to her disapproval. Yeah, nobody wants to be around someone that thinks they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. No one wants that, and she obviously does. And she's 21, hot, and she's in her prime, and she knows it. After we both ended our previous relationships, I knew that I needed/wanted time to be single and just chill out after such a long period of being with my ex. Amy adopted the attitude of F all boys, men are all a-holes. I want to be a single party animal forever. Translation, I want to ride the carousel. And by the way, the whole men are all a-holes and that type of thing, I guarantee if she's 21 and she's hot and like she said can get any guy, I guarantee the types of guys she was with were all the bad boys. The Chads and Tyrones, as they're called in the my other channel. The type of guys that aren't exactly you bring home to your parents. The type of guys that are not marriage material. She chose those guys because they're the exciting ones, the fun ones. And yet, all guys are a-holes? Sure. You're just picking the wrong ones, lady. Anyhow. It was fun, and it still is, but I met someone amazing now, and I want to pursue a relationship. Keep in mind that I had been single for nearly 7 months when I met him. I've been seeing him for about 3 months now, and he treats me so well. The only problem is that Amy will find absolutely any excuse to hate him or to make me feel bad about wanting to see him. Amy's jealous. That's why. She wants her wing girl. When I first started dating him, she broke things off with the guy she was casually seeing and had this whole friend chat about how happy she is that we are both single and we are both so much better off being single together. I told her I was going to continue seeing him because I really liked him and I would still make time for her and my other friends as I would hope she would have if she had a boyfriend. Guarantee if she had a boyfriend that would be a different situation, but you beat her to it. And not to mention the fact that since she is obviously the hot one that can get any guy she wants, she's probably pissed off that you, who I guarantee in her eyes she sees as being less than her, is pissed off that you got someone ahead of her. So she wants to now sabotage you. I've known some women have done this crap. She constantly says things like, don't forget about us now that you have a boyfriend, and guilt trips me into hanging out with her and our other friends regardless if I have plans with him. She also makes me feel guilty if I have spent time with him. I understand that she might be feeling jealous that she doesn't have someone significant in her life treating her how he treats me, but I really wish she would just be happy that I'm happy. No such thing. Not going to happen. Generally, okay, I want to say it's impossible, but a lot of times, very likely not that situation, especially if so many people think that she's basically a very narcissistic person. If she ain't happy, nobody else is happy, okay? And it's amazing to me how many girls, because a lot of women, guys generally don't have frenemies, but every woman has at least one frenemy. Someone that, they hang out with and all, but they don't really trust, and they would stab in the back in a heartbeat. And she considers this girl a good friend. I wouldn't trust her any further I could throw her. And she's trying to sabotage it. And I guarantee you, if they're all out, girls' night in the club or something like that, I guarantee you she'd try to get this girl to cheat on the boyfriend to sabotage the situation. You can be very careful, guys, who you spend your time with. And jealous friends, coworkers, family, they will try to bring you down. Mark my words. It's always best to cut those people out of your life. Anyhow. So tonight she sent me a message asking what I was doing tomorrow night. I replied and told her that I hadn't planned anything, but I might be going to an event. I didn't say with who, and I didn't say I was definitely going. She then sent me a snarky response saying that we had plans. I asked her what they were, and she just said, I told you last week I wanted to do something Friday. I just replied and said, oh, I didn't realize that anything was set in concrete. What would you like to do? She didn't reply for about an hour and then wrote back, don't worry, if you already have plans, it's just the crap like this I don't need. I told her I didn't have plans and was just tossing around an idea. Now I don't even want to hang out with her, but I feel guilty if I don't. I feel suffocated. I wish I could just back off. Yeah, she's jealous. She's pissed off. And guys, yes, by the way, if you're listening to this and we're thinking that this girl is dragging out this thing a little bit, she is, but bear with me here. This has a point at the theme here of jealous people. It continues, the thing that annoys me is that she won't even agree to meet him. She doesn't even know him, and all she does is slander him and say that I should be single with her. I don't know how to approach this one. I love her, but I really see long-term potential with this guy, and I don't plan any things with him just to please her. Well, you shouldn't. I don't want to lose her as a friend, but I just wish she would stop the tantrums that she has if things don't go her way. I have a right to be happy. I'm an adult, and I'm more than capable of dividing my time amongst the people I care about. Reddit, please help. Well, I'd say flat out that if you think it will work, sit her down and pretty much tell her what you think, what you feel, all that. And this guy's important to you and he's great, but I still don't have time for you. I wouldn't be labeling her jealous because that's just going to make her flap the handle. This is, of course, if she wants to stay friends with her. But if it comes down to that, then hey. But people like this, they'll drag you down. She's obviously jealous. I guarantee if this woman had a boyfriend, then it'd be a different ballgame. But she's unhappy. So guys, the main theme of this video, like I said, is jealous people. They're going to try to take you down, bring you down to their level, make things miserable for you because they don't have what you have in their life. And there's a whole world of people like that out there. And I guarantee there isn't anybody watching this show, wherever you are in the world right now, that hasn't experienced that at least once in their life. Or if they look back at their life and saw situations where things didn't quite add up, they're like, they were jealous. Yes, that's what's going on. Human nature can be very, very ugly, and you got to be aware of that. So, got a few comments here I'm going to read from the comment section, so I'm not alone in this idea. One comment is, a friend of mine had a similar story. It ended with a big verbal fight, and they stopped talking, and the friendship ended. Your friend will probably never change and will have the same attitude with any new guy you meet. I say stick to your guns, and if you lose her friendship, so be it. That's what I say. Because it isn't just about the guy. It's about how she's treating you and how she's obviously selfish. Okay? You really want someone like that as a good friend? I wouldn't trust her. Another person says, I think it's a hopeless case. Like you said, she needs to be in the spotlight all the time. Wants life to be an endless party, but I actually think she hates herself quite a bit. Yeah, a lot of these people that have to, particularly women that have to have constant party, they're a party girl, so to speak. They typically drink a lot amongst, as we call, riding the carousel. You guys can figure out what that means. If you don't know what it means already, they have lots of partners every week. They're not happy. I don't care what they say, okay? And they're usually lacking in something, and just it's a big mess. And try to bring people down to their level. Last-ditch effort is heavy, close dose of reality. So if she doesn't let it off, write her something long-winded that covers all points similar to this post, just directed at her. I think she latches onto you so much because she is terribly lonely. She might be surrounded by people, but it seems like they are mostly strangers. She needs to understand that the only way you can have a friendship is she's accepting your choices and partners. Right. And that sounds all fine and dandy to a rational person, but if this person's obviously very narcissistic, selfish, self-involved, and sees herself as the greatest thing since sliced bread, good luck trying to have a rational discussion about things to get her to see this woman's side to it. You know? Good luck. But if she wants to do it, she can do it. But in my opinion, it's not going to work out. And if this woman truly found a guy that's really great with her, and she's in her early 20s, when girls start thinking about, some do, finding a good one, don't let that friend sabotage, you know. And this would be the same with any situation, you know, a good job or different opportunities, because those type of people will bring you down. So anyway, guys, the theme of this video, like I said, is jealous people, just like the first story and the second one. You gotta keep those people out of your life. Okay, obviously in a work environment that's different because you're stuck working with them, but with friends and family, someone's jealous of you, making things difficult for you, trying to bring you down, get rid of them. Life's too short. Anyhow, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below what you think about this. Let me know, guys, if you ever dealt with a situation like this with a very jealous person trying to sabotage things. Let me know how you handled it. Put in the comment section. I'll definitely check it out. It'll also help other people maybe stumble upon this video. It might help them out in a situation they may be in right now or later on down the road. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.